Is there any advertisement that made an impression on you when you were a child? Absolutely. When I was 7 or 8 years old, I still remember clearly there was an ad about health supplements called 脑白金. It's very annoying and repetitive because it tells us that it's the only and the best gift you can give for the elderly people. But I have to say, they really make a profit. 2. Do you see a lot of advertising on trains or other transport? For sure, I have to admit that it's easy to spot on tons of advertising on public transport like subway, bus stand, airport, to name but a few. But to some extent, it's really a good way to kill time because when I'm waiting on public transport, I have nothing to do. So if I have something interesting to say, it's a good way to kill time. 3. Do you like advertisements? Absolutely no. I'm not fascinated by advertisements, especially commercial ads. They are distracting. When I'm watching the most exciting part of my TV dramas, and then all of a sudden it's cut because the ad needs to play. So I have to say it really drives me crazy. 4. What kinds of advertisements do you like? Well, if I have to go for one, that must have been the ads for fashion, like designer bags, cosmetics, and luxury items, simply because I'm a fashion-conscious person. And if I have the chance to watch that kind of ads, it helps me to, keep updated with the latest trends.
Is there an advertisement that made an impression on you when you were a child? The one that comes to my mind would definitely be this advertisement about filial duty to our parents. I could clearly remember the scene in which this young boy holding a basin helping her mother with the food washing, which is considered to be a behavior to complete your filial duty to your parents in traditional Chinese family, I would say. And the next question is, do you see a lot of advertising on trains or other transport? Yes, of course. I remember when I was in my university, I used to take subways quite a lot. And during that time, there are so many posters and some pictures inside the subway. But now, I guess it has already developed into the screens through which the advertisements might be broadcasted by turns. So the next question is, do you like advertisements? I would say probably no, but it also mostly depends on what kind of advertisement. You see if it's something that I'm quite interested in, or if it is very creative and innovative, or those advertisements that are pretty useful, as in it really can stimulate my desire to purchase the product, then I would probably like it. Otherwise, in most cases, no, I wouldn't want to watch advertisements. And the next question is, what kind of advertising do you like? Well, as I've mentioned, if it's creative and innovative, or if it's some kind of non-commercial advertisement that mainly provoke people's awareness of a certain social issue, like child abuse or school bullying, and when it successfully raised people's awareness of this issue, then I would say I like this kind of advertisement.
Is there an advertisement that made an impression on you when you were a child? Sure, there was a supplement ad that was super well known in China called 脑白金. It featured 2 old people dancing and chanting the lyrics together, making it quite memorable. Number 2, do you see a lot of advertising on trains or other transport? Yeah, I pay a lot of attention to those ads on planes because I really don't have much else to do on the plane. I noticed there are ads on the back of the seats, also on the tray tables, or in the in-flight magazines. They're mainly promoting traveling destinations or the aviation companies themselves. Number 3, do you like advertisements? Absolutely not. Apart from those creative ones, I can't bear most of them. People in the ads are usually talking really loudly, which just totally rubs me the wrong way. Also, they pop up everywhere on a website, in an app, or in the middle of a video. And the last question, what kind of advertising do you like? I can't stand most of them, but I'm okay with promoting content in some of the influencers' videos on TikTok or Bilibili, especially if it's high quality and really tells me the pros and cons of a product. I might consider actually purchasing it.
There an advertisement that made an impression on you when you were a child? Yes, I still remember the first English advertisement that I saw was Nike. At the time, I was a little girl who could not read any English, but I could repeat, just do it, for a lot of times. That actually was the first sentence of English that I learned. And also the logo was a tick, that was quite, very easy for people to recognize on the road. So that left me a great impression. And secondly, do you see a lot of advertising on trains or other transport? Yes, last time on the train, I saw the advertisement on the back of the seats. It was the advertisement about food, specifically McDonald's or KFC, just to make it easier for passengers to have food. Actually, they offered a QR code, and you could scan it, and they can order food there. The food will be delivered to you the next stop. So I think that's quite easy and quite convenient. And third one, do you like advertisement? Actually, I feel indifferent about it. I neither like nor dislike it. I think it's just simply like the way to get information, and so I won't feel annoyed if I see them. Sometimes I could understand that people will feel wash brain because it repeat a lot of time, but if you don't like it, just turn it off. And fourth, what kind of advertising do you like? I think I like the advertisements that are non-profit, educational, and meaningful. I still remember that an advertisement explained the meaning of family, and that was father and mother, I love you. Wow, at that time I was quite surprised, as a kid. I think those are advertisements should be repeated on TV over and over again.
Is there an advertisement that made an impression on you when you were a child? Well, I would say it's a cookie advertisement. It's called Chips Ahoy, I guess. So basically, it's a story about two cookies taking a ride. One is driving and the other is talking. Suddenly, one human hand appears and takes away one of the cookies. After a few seconds, the other one is gone as well. It really makes me laugh. Do you see a lot of advertising on the trains or other transport? Sure, it seems a good way to do the advertising on the public transportation because, people spend much time on the subways, trains, or airplanes. I always look at those advertisements while I am waiting at the stations. Do you like advertisements? Nope. I wonder if anyone likes them. If I need something, I would just go to the stores directly. I don't need those advertisements to put any ideas or desires into my mind. Also, most of the advertisements nowadays are exaggerating, so nope. What kind of advertising do you like? Well, if I have to choose one, I would say the trailers. They're advertising the movies, right? So I do enjoy watching those trailers at the cinema so that I could decide which movie I would like to watch next.